Hey XRP crew, what's up? Welcome back to Journey to XRP. I'm your host, and today is one of those videos you just can't miss. Everyone's going crazy lately about this one guy, Jake Claver. You've definitely seen the clips. People keep saying he knows secret stuff about when XRP is going to blow up, but he literally can't say it out loud. And seriously, the whole community is asking the same thing. What does Jake actually know? And why is he so super sure that XRP is definitely going to explode? My DMs are flooded. You guys keep sending me these clips asking me to explain them. So let's do what we do best. Go through everything super carefully, cut all the hype, and figure out what's really happening behind the scenes. Because when a guy like Jake Claver, someone who's been saying the exact same thing for over 18 months straight, says something huge is coming soon, we got to pay attention. So here's what happened. In one of his recent lives, someone straight up asked him if he knows secret timeline stuff about XRP that he's not allowed to share, and he didn't say no. He just smiled, said thanks for the super chat, and went, "Hope you're as excited as I am." That's all. No, nope, no explanation. Just that super confident voice that makes you feel like he knows something big. And we all know in crypto and finance, those NDAs, secret keeping contracts, are real. If Jake works with big partnerships or big money clients, he probably got told stuff the rest of us aren't allowed to know yet. Then there's that one clip that's got everyone losing their minds. Jake said, XRP on exchanges is disappearing super fast. You better understand the supply shock that's coming before everyone else wakes up. That's not just random talk. That's a huge hint. When XRP keeps vanishing from exchanges, it almost always means big players are buying and holding. But who's buying? That's the juicy part we got to figure out. Now think about this. Jake has been talking about his domino theory forever, but here's the T. He didn't even make it up. He just used it for XRP. The idea is super simple, but crazy powerful. One big thing happens, then everything else falls into place super fast. One domino hits the next, and suddenly XRP could be the new backbone of money around the world. But what really gets me is not the theory. It's how sure Jake is. He's been saying the same exact thing week after week, month after month for almost 2 years. Never changes his mind, never backs down. That kind of sureness doesn't come from guessing. It comes from knowing. The kind of knowing that means he's seen stuff we haven't seen yet. And when you look back, almost everything he hinted at is actually starting to happen now. Less XRP on exchanges, more big companies getting involved, Ripple buying huge companies, and all those quiet hints about XRP being used in global payment systems. He was talking about all this way before it hit the news. So if his domino theory is right and he's watching all the big pieces line up, then we might already be in the beginning of what he's been waiting for. So what does this mean for us regular people holding XRP through all the ups and downs? It means we got to start paying super close attention to the signs. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but when you connect the dots like Jake is doing, everything starts making sense. XRP isn't just sitting there by accident. The disappearing coins, the quiet new rules, the secret partnerships all over the world, it's all part of one giant picture. In this video, I'm going to explain every single piece. We're going to talk about Jake's theories, the crazy US debt stuff, the liquidity warnings, and even that wild $10 XRP price everyone keeps talking about. But before we go deeper, ask yourself this. What if Jake isn't just guessing? What if he's getting ready for something that's already started, something way bigger than we even imagine? Because if that's true, then XRP isn't just going to pump. It could be the beginning of a whole new money system. And that's exactly what we're uncovering today on Journey to XRP. Okay, keep watching because the more we look at what Jake's been hinting, the more it sounds like he's preparing us, not just hyping. There's one thing he said that everyone needs to really hear. He said, my thinking hasn't changed in 18 months. Think about that. In a market where people change their mind every week, this guy has stayed exactly the same for a year and a half. That's not luck. That's knowing. Jake says everything he's predicted is slowly coming true, step by step. The court wins for Ripple, all the new partnerships, money slowly moving off public exchanges. These aren't random. They're actually happening if you look close enough. He's basically saying, look at the facts, not the drama. And that's where most people mess up. They want fireworks tomorrow, but the real change is happening super quietly. Then he drops the US debt bomb, and that's when it gets really wild. Jake says the US might already have a secret digital way to fix its giant debt problem that nobody's talking about. He says either you get more assets or you make your debt smaller. But what if, just what if, the government already owns a ton of XRP and never told anyone? I know it sounds crazy, but it's really not that crazy. The US government has taken crypto before, sold it, kept it, and like David Schwartz said, nobody knows exactly what digital stuff the government actually owns because they never show it. If they secretly have XRP and the price goes way up, boom, part of the debt problem gets smaller without doing anything. It's not about paying cash, it's about the numbers looking better. If your stuff gets worth way more, but your debts stay the same, suddenly you're winning again. And governments do this kind of stuff all the time with stocks and property. Why not crypto? But Jake keeps going. He says governments always had an escape, printing more dollars. That's what made America boss. But in the new digital money world, printing might not work forever. If something like XRP becomes the new way money moves around the world, America can't just print forever. They'll need to own part of the new system to stay in control. That's why it makes sense that big companies like BlackRock are getting ready to be the main players. He's basically saying America might be planning to change the money system on purpose so they stay on top while everyone else catches up. They want to own the new roads that money travels on. And if XRP is even a small part of those roads, that's huge power. The craziest part is how calm Jake is when he says all this. He's not screaming for views. He's super chill and exact. And that's why the XRP community is listening. When someone this calm talks like everything is guaranteed, you listen. But we still got to stay smart. Even if Jake is right about the direction, timing is always tricky. Markets, rules, world stuff, none of it moves in a straight line. So here's what I think. Jake isn't making stuff up. He's seeing something real, maybe not the exact day, but the direction is right. He sees how the big chess pieces are moving. And if you've been in XRP long enough, you know this isn't random. It's huge, it's planned, and it's bigger than any YouTuber or price guess. The most important thing to remember is XRP isn't about gambling anymore. It's about being in the right place at the right time. Whether Jake is perfect on timing or not, all the real stuff, partnerships, better rules, money moving, everything points the same way. XRP is getting ready to be a huge part of the next money system, and that's worth watching super close. Now let's go even deeper because this is where Jake's ideas start connecting to how this whole giant change could actually happen. When Jake says XRP could help fix US debt just by price going up, he's not just saying fancy words. He's explaining how the system can fix itself once everything lines up. Let me make it simple. Even Ripple can't just say XRP is now worth $2,000 tomorrow. David Schwartz said it himself, nobody can just decide the price. The only way XRP goes super high is real demand, real use, real money flowing in, and that's where the dominoes come in. Once big banks start using XRP for real settlements, once the money hallways open, once countries start using digital stuff for reserves, everything else follows super fast. One thing triggers the next and the price just explodes naturally. So when Jake says the government doesn't need to set the price, the market can do it for them. He's 100% right. They just make the conditions perfect, push partnerships, make rules better, and boom, price goes crazy. This is exactly what big money does with stocks and gold. It just happens faster in crypto. When you look at all Ripple's new partners, central banks, payment companies, cross-border systems, it's easy to see how the price could go nuts from real use. Now, here's where it feels super planned. If America or any big country secretly owns XRP, they win huge when price goes up. Jake gave the example. Imagine they bought at $250 worth and it goes to $2,000. That's 700 times more money without printing a dollar. They don't even have to sell. They can borrow against it or just let the numbers fix the debt. Same thing he says about be your own bank. Works for countries too. You grow your assets instead of spending them. You use the price going up to fight debt. That's the new money mindset. Old system, rise, print money. New system, rise, grow digital stuff. Now zoom out. This isn't just America. The whole world money system is changing and dollar might not be king forever. Whoever controls digital money, flow wins. If XRP helps move value around the world super fast and cheap, even just as a bridge, that's massive power. Jake says America knows this and they're getting ready so they don't lose. That's why giant companies like BlackRock and Fidelity are quietly building digital money teams and buying into blockchain. It's all planned. And if XRP ends up being the main bridge that moves money instantly worldwide, the whole game changes. That's why I keep telling you guys, people who think XRP is just another coin are missing everything. It's not about hitting $10 or $100. It's about why it will happen. Debt plus liquidity problems plus new digital roads, XRP becoming one of the most important assets ever. Jake's job, whether he knows every detail or not, is showing us the big picture. He's not hyping price for clicks. He's connecting dots most people can't even see. When he talks about planned catalysts and controlled changes, he's saying the stage is already built. It's not waiting for permission. It's watching for when it starts moving. So if you've been holding XRP for years, this is when everything finally starts clicking. All the waiting, all the tech, all the partnerships, it's all coming together. That's why Jake's super confidence doesn't sound crazy. It sounds like he already knows it's happening. Okay, we're going deeper because this is where Jake stops sounding like he's guessing and starts sounding like he's waiting for the countdown to hit zero. He straight up says his thinking hasn't changed in 18 months. In a world where YouTubers flip opinions every day, this guy is a rock. Every new win, court stuff, new big customers, money moving to private places just proves him more right. He's not reacting. He's following the plan. And it's not just him. Look at the giant trends. World debt exploding. Central banks rushing to make digital money. Companies quietly adding blockchain. It's impossible to say he's wrong now. The US Treasury still hasn't told anyone exactly what crypto they own. That's not an accident. That's on purpose. You don't hide trillion-dollar stuff unless you're saving it for a big moment. Imagine they own XRP not to gamble, but as a secret weapon. They don't have to announce it. They just hold while price goes crazy. Jake's example again. $250 to $2,000 for 700x. Suddenly, the country looks rich again. And that's exactly how governments always fix debt. They grow assets or inflate away problems. Now, in digital world, they just let tokens grow. Jake also talks about how governments actually control markets all the time. Printing, rates, swaps. So moving that power to blockchain is just the next step. Instead of printing, they trigger smart events that make price go up and look natural. That's why domino theory fits perfect. One thing happens, next. Regulation, institutions come, money grows, use explodes, price explodes. Jake doesn't say he knows the exact minute, but the way he talks makes it sound like he's seen the dominoes already lined up. Then he says something that hits longtime holders right in the heart. I wouldn't keep saying this for years if it wasn't guaranteed. That's not bragging. That's being tired of waiting because he knows it's real. People call him too bullish, but every big money change in history had people who sounded just like him, super sure while everyone laughed, then got proven right. Bitcoin early believers, internet stocks, gold in the 70s, same vibe. Markets are crazy, yes, but when someone this connected stays this sure for this long, you gotta wonder, maybe it's not if anymore, it's when. And what if Jake's countdown isn't hype? It's just waiting for regulation plus liquidity, plus timing to all click. Because when those dominoes fall, markets don't knock politely. They kick the door down. So whether you're still doubting or already all in, wake up. The signs are everywhere. And like Jake said, once it starts, it'll be faster than anyone can react. Now, it gets almost movie-like because Jake doesn't just stay on big picture stuff. He explains exactly how it can happen in real life. And this is what makes him different from hype guys. He says nobody can just stand up and say XRP is now $2,000. Even Ripple can't do that. No one has that power. But markets don't need permission when real demand and real use hit at the same time. Price just explodes. When institutions actually start moving billions through XRP, when the money roads open, price discovery gets brutal fast. You won't see it coming until it's already here. That's why his market does the work instead of revaluation idea is perfect. The market reacts to real triggers. And tying that to US debt is just chef's kiss. If government owns enough XRP and price goes up thousands of percent, they fix debt just through math. No printing, no new taxes, just let market make their secret stash worth crazy money. Same trick they always use, make houses or stocks worth more to fix problems. Now it's digital turn, and governments are already acting like this is coming, building the roads, funding partners, buying into the new system. When Jake says BlackRock and others are getting positioned, he's not guessing. Those are the exact companies that will move the money when the switch flips. And when he says they can create catalysts on purpose, that's not conspiracy. That's just how governments work. They control stories, timing, everything. So when we start seeing headlines line up, new rules drop together, money suddenly flow. That's not luck. That's the plan starting. That's why XRP people watch every tiny clue. New partner, court update, exchange coins disappearing. Those are breadcrumbs to the explosion. And explosion isn't just random pump, it's supply shock. When institutions lock up XRP in private systems, payment roads, treasury stuff, it's gone from normal people forever. Coins vanishing right now isn't people selling, it's big money hiding it. So when normal people want back in, there's almost none left to buy. Price goes vertical super fast. That's real market math, not dreams. Every domino is lining up faster than people realize. So it's not about believing Jake or not. It's seeing the machine already moving. Ready or not, when it starts, it'll change money forever. All right, guys, Jason William here, wrapping this up strong. Jake just dropped a clip that's got everyone freaking out. He said XRP could actually hit $10 by end of October, and not just random, but with real reasons. Oil prices, big money shifts, dominoes falling super quick once it flips. He said when it happens, it'll be faster than anyone can even sell or buy. We've seen that before, that when money flows and story clicks, price changes overnight. The people who get the timing win big. He even hinted the crazy move could happen right around Ripple Swell, that big conference where huge announcements always drop. Makes total sense. All the big banks, regulators, money bosses in one place. That's where deals get whispered and new stories start. Even with other ETFs getting approved, feels like XRP ETF is quietly getting ready too. Nothing happens by accident, it's all timing. So long term, $10 next week or later, the real stuff hasn't changed. Network growing, big money coming in, liquidity story getting louder every day, big players quietly stacking while regular people watch red candles. Patience is power when you see the real picture. You don't panic on dips, you plan exits, you get ready for wild rides, because when it hits, you want to be ready, not reacting. That's why I make these videos, not hype, but showing what's really moving under the surface. Patterns, timing, real money flow. So if this helped, smash like, comment. You think $10 by Halloween or longer wait? And remember, not financial advice. Crypto is crazy risky. Do your own homework, only use money you can lose. My job is help you think smart, not tell you what to buy. Thanks for being the best XRP community ever. You guys make this fun. Until next time, stay smart, stay patient, stay ready. XRP Army.